everybody. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video about our important new tool, check-ins. So just as a reminder, vocabulary words are important just to make sure we're all on the same page. Planning Center is the parent company of the software the church began using about 2 years ago. Underneath the umbrella company of Planning Center, we have different apps and software that we use. For instance, in the office, we use the calendar app. Jonathan uses Services app to plan his songs and the people who are going to be singing on the worship team. And we also use the People Directory, which is our new church directory to keep track of everyone and be able to talk to each other. Check-ins is the part that children's ministry is going to utilize the most. We've been kind of soft using it since CAC, and now we're going to begin to use it on every single Sunday. So if you are a hall monitor, this part is important for you. But teachers, if you could learn this part, it would really help our hall monitors. The more of us who understand the terminology, how the products work, how we set them up, the more help we can be to each other. If I come in on a Sunday morning and I forget a key step and I ask Andrea, she'll help remember. We joke in the office all the time. Our 2 half brains equal 1 brain between Andrea and I, because we're often pretty forgetful. So when we've been learning this software for the last year, it's helpful if we all understand how it works. So we have 7 tablets in the office. They're all labeled iPad or Kindle. iPad 1, Kindle 1, iPad 2, Kindle 2. If you're a hall monitor, you're going to come in on Sunday morning, go to the office, get up your tablets, and bring them over to this check-ins area. You'll also have your label maker over there as well. You can turn this on just by holding the button down. It just takes a second and you'll see a green light. There's nothing else that you have to do. It'll automatically do the rest of the job. You're going to open iPad 1. You're going to push the button and swipe up. All of this is written on a set of instructions that you'll have as well. Push the button on your iPad, swipe up. You don't need a password, nothing like that. If I've done my job, it'll open right up to the check-ins and you'll see this purple screen. If I haven't, there's only a couple apps on these and you should see the square purple box with the check. That's our check-ins app. Go ahead and open that up. Now, Planning Center, when they created this, they use words that are not intuitive to us. That's why it's important to utilize these vocabulary words as often as possible. So you have iPad 1. You've opened it up to check-ins. You'll see on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, this iPad says Jonathan's iPad. We're utilizing it for the sake of this video. Yours should say iPad 1. Next to it on either side, there should be a picture of a printer or the gear icon. Now, often on a Sunday morning, you've opened up your tablet, you've swiped up, you've opened your check-ins app, and the tablet's not fast enough. It might not be connected to the internet quick enough. You might have a triangle with an exclamation point where the printer should be. That just means you've gone a little fast and the tablet hasn't quite had time to Bluetooth connect to our printer. If you do see that triangle with the exclamation point, you're just going to click on it. I'm going to click on the printer icon here so you can see what it would look like. I'm going to open it up and I see what all the settings for the printers. Right on the top, you should see it says Brother. That is this printer that we utilize. There's only one. If for some reason it's not working, I'm just going to click on it. As I look through, I can ignore most of this top section. Then you'll see it says Printer Test. Print a test label. Just by clicking that, often will tell the printer to wake up or the tablet to connect. Here's my test label. It worked. Kevin McAllister is all checked in for church. Just kidding. This is just one that they do for fun. So this tells me that it was successful. I'll click the OK button. Then at the top, I'll click Settings to go back out of this. And then I'll click Done at the upper right-hand corner. So our printer's checked working. Now we're going to click that gear button on the bottom right-hand corner. This is where our settings are. To access those settings, you have to have a code. It's a generic code, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it'll work on every single tablet. And then log in. Now you can see that we have access to stations. Stations is the word Planning Center has used to describe the 3 different ways these tablets can be used. Manned station is for new people or families that are having a difficult time, and it's called manned because one of your trained staff, like our hall monitor, will be holding that and walking new people through it. A self-station is for parents like me. I attend all the time. My children are in the SIM system. I'm going to walk right up and check them in all on my own. I don't need any help. A roster station is for our teachers. Think of a roster station as a smart clipboard. It's going to replace our clipboards, and it is super smart and up to date all the time. We'll get to that at the end of the video. So, hall monitor, you've come in, you've set up, you've checked your tablet is connected to your printer, you've touched the gear icon. You're going to set iPad 1 up as a manned station. For the majority of Sunday morning, this is going to be with you because you are the hall monitor. You are the person anyone will come to if they need to add a child to their household or have a visitor or they have a question or updates that they have to do. So, as a manned station, I have some choices here. I'm going to have that green checkbox locked station to one event or location. Then the event. For the sake of this morning, I created a secondary event on a random Wednesday. So it's Children's Church, and then the location, you see here it says preschool 3 through K. On my manned station, I want this to be all locations. Again, this is where vocabulary words come in. Even though we have a Sunday school hour and a children's church hour, for the sake of our stations, we just have one event, Children's Church. And then we've created locations for the 9 a.m. hour and the 10:30 hour. But generally, you don't have to worry about that, especially on your manned iPad. So, Children's Church, all locations. Print 2 should say self. Theme should say none. Refresh station, you can leave that unchecked and you can just hit save. So now you'll see it's going to change. This is what a manned station looks like. So at 8:45, a new family walks up. And they say, we need to check our new child in, or I'm visiting. You're going to come to this tablet and you're going to put in said child's name. So I'm going to click the name David. Let's see. Is it any of these households? No, they're new. So I'm going to click add a person. Now I have 3 choices here. I can create a brand new household. Some families might be a little nervous about this part. You can just reassure them that we're not going to send them spam. It's just to make sure that we can connect that child with a safe household person to check them out. Or you can add them to an existing household. This might work for, say, grandma. She's bringing her grandchild to Sunday school that morning. Or a cousin who's visiting for the summer. You absolutely could add them to the existing household that they are here visiting with. Or if it's really making someone uncomfortable, or they're just here on a one-off because they're visiting from Argentina, then you're just going to put a label only, and it's just going to print their specific information and not add them to our people directory. So once you've done that, this will check the student in, and it will print them a label. I'm going to click Start Over to get out of this. In case I've made a mistake, you can always click Start Over. Okay, hall monitors. So you've set iPad 1 to your manned station. Now you're going to take iPad 2, open it up, open in check-ins, and you're going to change this to a self station. So you're going to go down to the bottom right-hand corner, touch that gear icon, put in the station key, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, log in. Now you're going to make your choices to make this a self station. Remember, a self station are for our regular attenders who know the game, know what to do, they're already in our system. This is not for new people or visitors. So the options I'm going to click are both, keyboard scanner, lock station, children's church, all locations, self, none, and then purple button save. So now you'll see that this is going to change the way this looks. This is a self station. So if I'm a mom and I'm walking up to the 9 a.m. hour and I haven't utilized my Church Center app, I'm going to walk up and I'm going to check my child in. So I'm going to put in the last 4 digits of my phone number associated with my household. 1135. Search. Oh, there's the paras. Layla, Josh, and Jake have already been checked in prior to, so I have the option to reprint their label or check them in again. Regardless of those options, if they're regular attenders, it's going to check them into the class that they were last in recently, that Church Center remembers. There is a way to change that, just not on this tablet. So I picked Maverick's name because I haven't checked him in, and they want to know, is he checking into the 9 a.m. Sunday school or the 10:30 Children's Church? And if I touch 10:30 Children's Church, it's going to put him in, but not assign him to a classroom. Technically, it's because he's 14, so there's nowhere for him to go within the parameters we have set. I'll click Done. They're checked in. So if you notice at the bottom, it says my name, checked in by Sierra Para. I have the opportunity to change that. Say I'm not here and it's Stephen who's doing it. I could change that to Stephen's name. It would associate his name if he had used his phone number, and then I could click check in and it would print my labels for me. As it is, we're going to skip that step. I'm going to click start over. If I have a parent who's using the Church Center app to do their Sunday morning check-ins, I could do that in the car on the way here. Check in my 3 kids. I would be given a barcode or a QR code on my phone. I could walk right up to this tablet and click one of those 2 icons or tap to scan. Then it would open up the camera option and it would show me the camera, and I would just put my phone behind it and it would scan it and it would check my kids in that way as well. I find it easier just to put the phone number in. So we'll start over again. So again, iPad 1 is our manned station for new people and guests. iPad 2 is our quick station or our self station for people who are here all the time. So 9 a.m. is started. Your kids are in their classroom with their teacher. You're going to take Kindle 1 and you're going to turn it into a roster station. And I'll explain that in a couple minutes. So 10 o'clock has come and it's the busy time. This is when most of our families are going to be showing up. You're going to be ready with your manned iPad to check in new people. You're going to be helping your families come in and put in their phone numbers and check their students in. The printer's going to be spitting labels out like crazy for everybody. And you can also have your teachers sign in as well and print their own teacher label as well, which is very helpful in recognizing who a teacher and who's supposed to be in the classroom and who's not. So 10:30 service has started. Most, if not all, the kids are in service with their parents. As the hall monitor, your job, you have a little bit to do for the next 10 minutes. iPad 1 will stay as your manned station. You need this. This is your key to everybody. iPad 2, iPad 3, and then your Kindles are all going to be turned into roster stations, just like we talked about in the 9 a.m. hour. So what does that mean? A roster station takes the place of your clipboard. Roster stations are smart clipboards. So how do I get there? I touch the gear icon at the bottom right, put in my station code. On every single tablet, you're going to do this step. So now I'm going to choose roster station. Now this is where you're going to have a little more choices to choose for each classroom. So I'm going to set this one to a specific class because I'm going to hand it to a specific teacher. So however works for you, whether you start with 5th and 6th or if you start at the nursery, you're going to take your first tablet and you're going to set it for that classroom. So let's say we're setting up for the nursery. I'm going to check these 3 tabs, ready, here, and checked out. This is where you as a teacher will see who's ready to be checked in, who's here but hasn't been confirmed, and then who's been checked out. So check, green check for ready, green check for here. If I have a 5th or 6th grade classroom, I'm probably not going to check show security codes. They're older, they don't need to know that. Nursery and 2s and 3s, probably. Show security codes, confirm check-ins, check out from all locations. You should never choose check out from all locations. For who we are and what we do today, that's not an option for us. Scrolling down, get roster from Children's Church. It's the 10:30 hour, and I want to see the roster for the preschool through TK class. I want to see the active lists. This says for the past 3 weeks. I'm going to actually change it the last 5 weeks. It's summertime. Sometimes your people are here 1 week and then they're gone for 3. It's going to look different each time of the year, but if it's been a longer season since you've seen some kids, choose the last 5 weeks. Print to self, you don't have to worry about that, and then click Save. Now, this is what your teacher will see. This is going to look a little different because in the Ready tab, there's nobody listed. On a Sunday morning, from the 3-year-old to TK, you would see names like Layla Para, the Hooper twins, things like that. They're going to be listed because they've routinely come to that class, regardless of whether they're here today or not. Why is this important? Well, you might have a kid come into the 5th and 6th grade class whose parents didn't check them in, the hall monitor might have missed them, and they just wander back there. And you can look down and say, oh, Jake Para, where did you come from? I need to check you in. He's already listed in your Ready tab because they know that he possibly comes. There would be a box with an arrow pointing down. You would click that. Then he would be under the Here section. And again, it's not showing any of their names, but under the Here section, they've not been confirmed yet. When they've been confirmed, it will change the way they look. To confirm them, you would, again, do that box with the arrow pointing down, and then that could check them into the classroom. What's an instance that this would be really important with a little kid? Well, say Layla has very absent parents and they just send their 5-year-old down the hallway and don't walk her to class. Well, she's been pre-checked. So you see on your tablet, Layla says she's here. It says her parents checked her in, but I don't see her in the classroom. You can open the door and tell your hall monitor, hey, I can't find Layla. Have you seen her? Or under her name on the tablet, there's an area, a little text box that you can click, and it would send a text message right to me, right to whatever parent or grandparent checked that person in. Hi, Layla didn't make it to class today. Did she decide to stay with you? It's a quick way to let everyone know, oh, where is this child? In the nursery, it would say, hey, Layla needs a diaper change. Or could you bring a change of clothes for Layla? She spilled juice on herself. Those are all things that you could send to parents right to their phone from your tablet. Once they're checked in, and you've confirmed that they're checked in, you put your tablet away, teach your class. When the parents come to pick up, you can go back to your roster station and change it to checked out. And the arrow will have changed from an arrow pointing down to check them in to an arrow pointing to the right to check them out. You simply just tap that button and it checks the child out, and then you're done. Hall monitor. You're going to create roster stations on your 6 tablets and hand them to every teacher once they've all gone to their classrooms. Teachers, you take said tablet from hall monitor, you go to your Ready, and you take attendance. And you do all the steps we just said, and then you put your tablet down and you're done for now. So, church is over, all your kids have been checked out. Hall monitor, you're going to take all of the tablets and you're going to take them to the office and leave them on the long countertop. We'll take care of it on Monday morning. Church center, planning center, check-ins, services, calendar, all of this stuff is new. We have been using a lot of it for 2 years, but this part for children's ministry is new. I just want to acknowledge and validate the fact that sometimes learning things is hard. It's taken me a long time to use these vocabulary words and this terminology very smoothly, and I mess up all the time. Church center is the public part of planning center. It's what all of our congregation sees. The rest of this stuff is for staff and admin and our volunteers. We want to support you. As staff and admin and volunteers, It's our job to be positive to our parents, to be positive about using Church Center, Planning Center, and our Check-ins app. Yes, we can acknowledge things are difficult to learn, but we can do so in a positive way. On a Sunday morning, if you get stuck, find someone to help you. Find me, find Andrea, find Jonathan. We can stop and help you get going of where you're at. In 6 months to a year, everyone's going to know how to do this, and it's going to be great. It's just a little difficult in the beginning. But I want to encourage you, be positive, and positively come and ask for help if you're struggling with something. This is why I'm here, and I will help teach you. It's my job. It's my job to walk you through all this over and over again until you get it, and then you can help train someone else. I just want to thank you so much for being willing to learn this new program, and if there's anything I can do to help you, please come and find me.